everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you're seeing me for the very first time, let me go ahead and introduce myself. While you do the same, please introduce yourself in the comment too. I want to know your name. Where are you watching from? Today, we're going to be talking about how to attract success. Yes, how to become the person who attracts success. But first, I'd like to start with a quote. I'm laughing because this is something that is for in the beginning of today's live stream, is that success comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. In other words, you don't have to look for success, you attract it. Yes. Try not to become a man of success, but rather become a man of value. And Jim Rohn actually inspired this particular, quote, which says, "Success is not to be pursued; it is to be attracted by the person that you become." Honestly, I've been listening to Jim Rohn for a while now. I listened to him on my way to the gym. I just, listen to his podcast, and I'm wowed. And interestingly, everything he says, if you're willing to follow every advice he gives, honestly, it's going to be evident in your life, and I'm a living testimony today. So please go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. I'd like to know you. I want to meet you as well. Where are you watching from? And if you have not seen my previous videos, please go ahead and check out my videos. I'm a grants queen. I'm known as the grants queen. I share grants videos on my channel 3 times every week: Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So make sure that you join the family by subscribing in case you have not. And yes, let's get right into today's business: how to attract, become the person who attracts success. How to become the person who actually attracts success. So, Bestie, you need to stop chasing success and start attracting it. Yes, the truth is, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. So, what you are attracts more people like you. So before success can show up, you have to align your habits, you have to align your own mindset and your environment with the kind of person that deserves that success. If it means living where you are, if it means relocating, if it means changing your circle of friends, yes, so I'm all for it. See, I'm all for it. If you want to attract success, something has to give way, something has to change in you, something has to just be different about you. So if you really want to attract success, I tell you, you have to be willing to work on yourself. You have to be willing to do what it takes, to attain a success. So guys, I also want to learn from you guys. What are those things that you're doing or that you've done differently that seems to attract success into your life, into your business, and everything in between? So guys, have you noticed that reading, yes, reading changes the way you think. Reading changes your outlook. If you have to read every day. I'm not talking about scrolling through the internet. I'm talking about reading a good book. Yes. Reading a good book can make a whole difference for you. So, like I said, you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Yes, you get to attract what you are. And like I said, you have to also, change your mindsets. You have to change if necessary. A person who wakes up late, complains, and doubts themselves cannot attract millionaire results. I heard what's his name? Beyonce's dad. He was saying something like, if you want to make multi-million dollars, for example, you cannot put in sense efforts that attract sense. You can't put in the barest minimum and expect, hey Sarah, thank you for hey, you're amazing. How have you been? I love your episodes, as in on God. Thank you for joining in. So you can't put in the barest minimum of effort and expect maximum output. And my sister, a lot of people in Nigeria, they always have these prayer points. Small work, plenty money. Tiny work, really? Okay, I see you. You see me, and awesome. Good to see you. So a lot of times we actually need to change that mindset, yes, of putting in tiny, when Beyonce's dad said this in the interview, I watched an interview with him, and he said, a lot of people want to become multimillionaires, but they're only ready to put in sense, like work that attracts a few cents. You have to, if you want to really attract. See, this week alone, this week I did some crazy stuffs this week. I did 50 videos in 2 days. Sorry, 51 videos in 2 days. I did 26 videos the first day, which was on Tuesday, and I did 25 videos on Wednesday. So I was committed. Was it easy? No. Did I feel like giving up in the beginning? Yes. Every single time. It's a struggle every time. But until I say it myself, people don't believe it. They think, oh, it's easy. No, it's not. Yeah. Thank you. 51 videos this week. 2 days. And typically my day starts from 8 in the morning and ends at 1 in the midnight. So I am flat out tired, drained. So, but guess what? I have to do it. I always think about the outcome. I always look at the big picture, and I encourage myself with that. I don't go by how I'm feeling, because if I go by how I'm feeling, I will not shoot any video. She said to film one video alone is crazy. I know. So it's a mental thing. So I prepare myself mentally ahead. Yeah, I do. I prepare myself mentally. I noticed something. I think 2 days before I started shooting the videos, I was already feeling I don't know, I was putting myself in that mode already, so I was feeling it already. So when it was time to start shooting, I knew I had no choice. I knew I had to disrespect the way I was feeling. I can't afford to say, oh, I feel tired. No, in fact, interestingly, I started shooting on Tuesday. Yes, the research is intensive and extensive, and I have to be sure that they are, up to date. So on Tuesday, when I'm taking a class, I'm taking like an 8-week class, and it's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So on Tuesday, I had to shoot 25 videos, and I had to wake up very early in the morning. My class was from 9 to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesday, I was in that class, and you have to be on camera. I was in that class from 9 to 12, and I still had to get up and go and shoot 26 videos on that day. So it was gangster. It was gang. But I told myself, no, you can't give up. No, you cannot give up. In fact, for the first time, for the first time in a long time, I had to miss my Bible study in the evening, because I have a group of ladies that we do Bible study together. I just sent them a message, hey, I'm sorry, I cannot join you guys. And I usually break it into 2 on the same day. So I try to do like 15 first. After 15, then I take a nap and then wake up and then continue with the remaining 10. But that particular day, I did only 10. And my brain was like, I was like, no, I need to, take a nap. So I took a nap, and I was like, I have to finish this thing today, because I don't want to repeat the same thing on Thursday. So if I don't finish it on Tuesday and Wednesday, I have to speed it over till Thursday. And that class is from 9 to 12, and it's going to drain me. I didn't want to repeat that, scenario. So I had to force myself. So when I woke up, I did 16 more. So I was just happy that I'm on points. But honestly, it was not easy. It wasn't easy. And part of what I took in the class informed the way that I did the next video. Yes, it informs the way I did the next videos, my next set of videos. So honestly, you need to constantly work on yourself, consistently, and you begin to attract that, success yourself. So who you are is who you attract at the end of the day. If you're not building, if you're not improving, if you're not working on yourself, you won't attract something better for yourself. So when you just keep putting the work, and you'll attract success. And honestly, I keep reminding myself, or remembering when I was still, single, and I was just fresh out of the university. And part of the things that make me, because I've always been very mindful of the people I allow in my space. I've always been very, very mindful, because a lot of times my age mates, no disrespect to anyone, a lot of people in my, that we graduated together, their focus is on something else. Their focus is on something that doesn't align with my goals. So what I did at the time was, I constantly put myself in a school environment. I love to live in a place where, it's close to a polytechnic, or it's close to a university, somewhere that is close to an institution of higher learning, honestly. So I would go there to read on weekends. Yes, I'll go to work Mondays to Fridays. Saturday, I'm in class reading. That's a way I was able to just, avoid. Where's the party? I don't have time to go to parties. I do once in a while, my clients, my top-notch clients, invite me. But I always make sure that I'm in a an environment where I will only attract like-minded people, people that have sense, not people that are talking about things that are not relevant, not people that want to talk about social media gossips. No, 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 no. I am here to focus on my life and my future, So you need to constantly build yourself. Yes, you need every day. You have to build yourself. What are you doing differently? Are you reading books? Are you learning? Is there something you're doing differently? I mean, I'll tell you something. Last week there was something I started doing, and the truth is, I follow people that have done way better than me, that are, where I'm aspiring to be, hopefully, by God's grace. And when I hear the things that they've done, the things I do feel like child's play. Yes. And if you're watching me right now, you're a content creator, this might also help you. These people, so I was listening to someone that, is really doing so well in the travel industry, in the travel, channel. I mean, travel space, because I also have another travel channel. So, and this person reached out to 150 organizations, yes, for brand deals. And I was like, in my mind, I'm like, 150 kilo shele go no, and out of the 150, I think 40 reached out again, and she was able to get, a number of deals, maybe like 10 brand deals, and they were all like like it took us almost six figures in dollars. And honestly, I was inspired by that. What does it entail? Me coming out, getting out of my comfort zone. Maybe if I've been sending out 10 emails to 10 organizations, it's time for me to double it up. For me, if I hear, if I'm inspired by someone sending 150, I will send 200. Yes, I will send 200. And as a matter of fact, when I took my very first YouTube masterclass, there was a lady, that was organizing a YouTube training at the time. I took her class, and man, she was dropping 20 videos in a day. 20 YouTube videos in a day. I say kilo shell, like kilo popping ibi. I kid you not, to every single day. So when you hear that these people, they've attained success, it's not by accident. It's not by accident. I'm telling you. So you have to work hard, not to chase it. When you work hard well enough, you begin to attract it. So today, like I said, it's about becoming the person who attracts success. So what are you doing differently? Leave it in the comments. Are you beginning to read books? Are you working out? Yes, I still work, even in the midst of all this. I work out, of course. Those 2 days that I had to shoot the videos, no workout for me, because there's no way to, fill in the gap. But I work out 1 hour I try to do 1 hour every day, except on weekends. So are you working on yourself? Yeah, mentally. Are you working on yourself psychologically? What is that thing are you even working on yourself spiritually? Even spiritual growth is there. You see, that's awesome, Sarah. You see, and the interesting thing is, it shows in you, and that's it. You begin to attract, success that way. I've also had, a lifelong dream of reading the entire Bible. And interestingly, God, with God's help, I've been on it since August, yes, of 2025. And let me put this out there. I didn't just pick it up and start reading. No, I've prayed. I prayed for 15 years before it happened. Yes, I prayed for grace to read the whole of the Bible since 2010 that I became born again. Since 2010, I became a Christian because I was a Muslim. I've been praying to God to give me the grace to read the Bible. And August 2025 was when I was able to pick up the Bible and start reading. And with God's help, by God's grace, I have completed Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, First Samuel, Second Samuel, First Kings, Second Kings, First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverb, Ecclesiastic, Sons of Solomon, Isaiah. So I'm currently reading Jeremiah. I started in August, 2 months ago. And here I am today. But guess what? A lot of prayers went forward before I got to this point. Because before now, when I pick up the Bible, I just read a few things and I'm like, I feel tired. The regular tiredness, you want to sleep, you feel sleepy. But now, by God's grace, I do 1 hour of Bible study every single day without fail. And God has really helped me so far. I've grown spiritually. I can see, even with myself, I can feel it, and I I can say I'm a new person, like from when I started reading the Bible, because there are lots of things that you would see firsthand, first accounts. It's not by what the pastor has said on the pulpit, it's you reading it. And now, when you go to church and you listen, you're able to connect in it on a deeper level. Because why? You have read it. You are like a witness, right? You have seen it firsthand, and when you hear it on the pulpit, you're able to connect on a deeper level. So reading books, growing spiritually is also part of it. Yes, you gotta grow spiritually. Now, you have to also build magnetic habits. Magnetic habits. Yes. Success, I've always said this so many times, success is not one big moment. It's the result of daily disciplines done in private. Daily disciplines done in private. So, what are those things that you're doing? Even if it's just one page of book you're able to read in a day, just do it consistently. If you're consistent, honestly, when I started reading the Bible, I was like, when I open, because it's quite big, voluminous. When I started reading, I was like, I still have a long way to go. It feels like the rest of it is so much. Like, it feels very far. But guess what? I've read more than half of the Bible. Like, when I open it to read, because I read it in midnight. So I have this interesting special schedule. I read from 4 to 5. I try to read, 1 hour every day. So in the beginning, it felt so far, like, when will I ever get to this point? But dear, Yoruba people will say, where, as in little by little, you will get there. If you're not so much in a hurry, if you're not in a hurry, you will get there. So, and that now I'm more than half. And now I'm even feeling bad. I'm almost, approaching the New Testament, and very soon I'll finish reading the Bible. I feel I don't want it to end, So just start every day. Start that one thing. That one, thing that you do consistently is what contributes to your success. Consistency means showing up even when no one is watching. So many times I come live here and I see zero audience. That's not my business. That's not why I'm here. I'm not here to be worshipped. I'm not here to be famous. I'm only here to impact, even if it's just one person that gets a life transforming, life changing moments just by watching my videos. I'm okay. There was someone that came on my live stream one and tried to shame me. I'm like, no, I'm the wrong audience. So it's not me. So if you think that I derive my what's it called, identity, or I derive my confidence or my self-confidence or my self-worth from the number of people or the number of audience that I have, you have made a big mistake. Because it does not define me. That I have 1 million people watching me does not make me great. It doesn't make me better than the next person. I don't see things the way a lot of people see things. And that's why I've always said it, that the way a lot of people think is different from the way I think. So what actually constitutes success for you might not be success for me. So you have to be disciplined. Yes, discipline over motivation is also something that you need to put into perspective. Remember I mentioned that I shot 51 videos this past week, and trust me, I was not motivated. But the discipline to do it, that no, this goal, today's task is 20. It was actually 25 videos. I ended up doing 26, 25 each day, but I did 26 the first day, which was on Tuesday. I didn't feel like doing it. I had to psych myself, I had to prep myself. But one thing for sure that helped me, because I have to change my outfit every single time. Yes, so the person came on my live stream like this. I'll be my sister. The person doesn't know me. If the person knew me, the person will even go there. So for each of the videos, I was not motivated. But the fact that I had planned it, that's my goal for the day, 25 at the minimum. I had to do. I got to a point where I'm like, I don't care about how I'm feeling right now. Oh yeah, shoot. It's time to, oh yeah, just shoot. So one thing that helped me, I was trying to mention the other time, was because I had to change my outfit 50 times, 51 times. So I make sure in between changing the outfits, I don't spend up to 30 seconds or more than 30 seconds. Yes. changing, and because if it stays for 1 minute, if it lingers for a minute, that's tired. I'm a human being. At the end of the day, that tiredness can set in, and you want to avoid it as much as it's like keeping the momentum. So yes, recently I started going to the gym as well, and I carried dumbbells. I carry like when I first started. Okay, so I bought some dumbbells, right? I bought 10 pounds, and it felt heavy. And today I'm carrying 30 pounds. So this is where I'm going. I found 10 pounds heavy, the one I have at home. And when I went to the gym, I was carrying, I didn't start from 30. No, that's the highest that I've carried so far, but that's what I carry now. So I started with I think 15 and then 20 and then 22.5 and then 25, like that. So but now I start with 25 and then 27.5, then 30. That's the third set that I carry. But one thing I do when I carry the first set, I walk around the gym, then I come back and carry the second set. Where am I going? You're building momentum. You are making sure that you're not breaking. You don't break it. You don't make sure that your heart has not stopped, beating. Yes, your heart can't stop beating, but I'm saying you have to keep I don't know how to explain. You have to keep the momentum. So when I change my outfit, before that tiredness sets in, I am shooting the next one. I am, going with that flow. I am making sure that I am not tired, because the moment you get to that point where you can no longer even control it, I'm sorry. There's almost nothing you can do about it, and you don't want to, you don't want to shoot a video that doesn't, at the end of the day, you won't be able to post it. So make sure that's something that helps me. I make sure that I build momentum, and I make sure that in between there's no gap. That is the power of consistency. So when you do something consistently every single day, you realize that it becomes easier. Yes, it now kind of like becomes second nature to you. But if you disappear after a while, you walk away and coming back, it's gonna be a lot of stress for you. It's going to be, you may not even be able to handle it. And at that point, you start to struggle. You don't want to put yourself in that situation. And please also have positive routines. Yes, positive routines, reading, planning. I have a planning routine. For people who think you can just get up and get things done, no, you have to have how do you plan? When do you write down those goals? It's very important. Maybe you set out Sundays like this, maybe Sunday evenings. It's when you plan your week. Please. And then gratitude, self-reflection. Interestingly, even my prayer life has improved because of the, daily Bible study. Now I pray for everyone. I pray for all my friends. I pray for all my clients. I pray for myself last, definitely, but I pray for I'm able to do that because of the consistency. It builds a routine, it builds momentum, it builds character. Now another thing that you have to do to attract success is to shift from scarcity to abundance mindset. Shift from that's kosi, I don't have, or I can't do it. Start saying, how can I put you in the position where you're seeing the possibility? You're no longer seeing impossibility. You're seeing that it's possible. Opportunities are actually everywhere. You just need that mindset to see them. People with scarcity mindsets, they repel success because they actually operate in fear and lack. I remember the first time I listened to Jim Rohn. If you have not been listening to this guy, please search for his videos, even here on YouTube. Jim Rohn. Listen to him in the morning, or maybe in the shower. If you don't have time, there are lots of people who claim they don't have time. People who don't have time. You can actually listen to podcasts while you're cooking, while you're working out. Enjoy. You can plug it in your earpiece, and then you listen. Because I am telling you, you need to start thinking bigger about what is possible for you. Yes. And I mentioned earlier that your environment matters. Yes. You can't grow in an environment that does not feed your potential. You cannot grow in that kind of environment. I'm telling you. Who are you surrounded by? What content are you even consuming? So for me, when I'm maybe on Instagram and I see something that just doesn't make any sense or is not going to add value to me, I scroll past and I make sure that I time the amount of, I time myself when I'm on various social media platforms. My brain automatically, hey, what are you still doing here? If it's not adding value or more, I'm moving on, man. So if everyone around you is average, you're going to normalize average. Yes. You will normalize average. If everyone around you is average, remember you're the sum, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with. So if you spend your time with 5 successful people, you're going to be the 6th person. If you spend your time with 5 idiots most of the time, you're going to likely be the 6th person. So success also comes to people who believe that they deserve it. Yes, sir. You have to remove self-doubt. You have to remove imposter syndrome, or imposter syndrome is the same. You have to tell yourself you're worth it. There's a page I followed, on Instagram. Yes, I've always seen that page for a long time, but this week, I had to click on follow. Why? There's a guy who does, content with his mother. They live in Ghana. He does content with his mother, and he's always I don't know. His mom is she's so inspiring. And interestingly, it's interesting. She should be in her 60s or even 70s. But you see the way this woman hypes herself every single time. This week, it got me because I realized that a lot of even young people, they are waiting for someone to tell them that they are beautiful before they believe that they are beautiful. Or they just look down on themselves, or they just feel that they're not enough, or they have to enhance their bodies to do this and do that. I followed the page because the woman at her age, she has more confidence than, I'll say, half of millions of youths worldwide. I had to follow her. I had to follow the guy's page because every single time that's what the content is all about. The woman hyping herself, the old woman hyping herself every single time. She's always like, "Get you, what are you talking? I am the best." That's what she says every time. I am the best. Look at this is my outfit is the best. My earrings are that's what she does every time. I love that. And I wish every woman would have that kind of notion about themselves, because that way it's going to be hard for anyone to project. If anyone tells that woman that, "Mommy, you're not looking good," she will return it back to you, back to sender. She will tell you, "I look way better than you can ever." Seriously, because a lot of women have lost their self-confidence. A lot of women, they found themselves in situations where, they are offing themselves and all of that because they think they're not good enough, or they think they're not cool enough. But if every woman would have that kind of mindset about themselves, I don't care what your color is, you're brown, you're blue, you are green, whatever your color is, just believe you are the best. Yes, you're the best version of yourself. No one is better than you, and you're not better than anyone. As long as you know and you're confident in yourself, trust me, all of the nonsense that goes on social media will never get to you. All those negative projections will never, it won't even come near you, because you know your self-worth. You don't have anything called imposters. What is that? Whatever success that you attain or that you attract, you deserve it. So don't think, "Oh, I don't deserve this. I think it deserves someone else deserves it." There have been situations where, even successful entrepreneurs, when they made their very first $1 million, they're like, "Give it to someone else." In their minds, it took them a long time to accept it, that they are deserving of it. Because I follow a lot of amazing entrepreneurs, on the internet, and they say the first time they attained their first $1 million, they were like, "It's not for me, it's for someone else. Can you give it to," like, in their minds, they didn't voice it out, but they were like, "It's for someone else." That's imposter syndrome there, telling you don't deserve the good things of life, that other people deserve it and you don't. So you need to rebuild confidence in yourself. You need to constant. If you have to use words of affirmation, it's okay. The first time I was, well, introduced, I know about words of affirmations, but the first time I kind of was reintroduced to it the first time in US, and I thought I was a big deal. I was looking at everybody like, "Is everybody okay here? Like, do you need to be reminded that you're beautiful? Do you need to be reminded that you're smart?" I thought that it was a big deal. It was a big deal here in US. And I was pregnant with my second child, my son, at the time. I went for, the antenatal classes, and I heard them. The women there, a lot of people did not believe that it was like I was in the wrong space. Like, what is wrong with these people? Don't you know before? Like, don't you know that you are beautiful? You are gorgeous. You are, and if you need it, I've come to realize not everybody have that orientation. Not everybody was built with confidence. Not everybody had that, was groomed as being fearless, beautiful, amazing. Not everybody. A lot of people had, bad experiences, of trusted guardians, or even friends that have planted the seeds of doubts, self-hate, and all of this in them. So I honestly, I started to understand, that not everybody was privileged, to come from where I'm coming from, where you believe in yourself, where you trust your gods, where you know that you're deserving of the good things, where you know there's nothing that you can't achieve. There's nothing you dream of that you cannot achieve. There's nothing that you want. There's no dream that is too big for you to accomplish. Not everybody is coming from that space. So I always appreciate it, the fact that I know myself, I know what I'm capable of, and I know myself what not many people know their self-worth. So please, if you need affirmations, please, by all means, go ahead and tell yourself those things every single day. If you have to tell your kids, maybe you were not privileged to come from that, space growing up, you need to plant it in your children. Thank you for following me. Thank you. So please make sure that believe that you're worthy. Because when you believe that you're worthy, you stop begging for opportunities. You stop begging for attention. Yes, you stop begging for attention. You are too loaded to fail. You're just too much to be settling for less, right? So stop shrinking. Start standing in your value. Stop shrinking and start standing in your value. And at this point, I don't want to make this too long, but I just want to close out today by first thanking you guys for watching all the way till the very end. I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. If you have not introduced yourself yet, please go ahead and do that. And if you haven't also checked out my YouTube videos, what are you waiting for? Oh yeah, go and watch my videos today, and also do well to apply for grants. And my last quote for today is actually coming from the scriptures, and it's from Proverbs 16 verse 3. It says, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Yes, once you commit everything you want before God, he will see you through. Yes, he will establish your plans. And that is my prayer from me to you today. Thank you all so much once again. Till I see you guys in my next video, take care of yourselves and God bless you. Bye for now. Bye guys.